You aren't able to quit social media because you haven't defined your why. Now, you might argue against me and tell me, hey, I want to quit social media because I want to work hard. Okay, why do you want to work hard? Well, I don't know. And that's actually the issue. Maybe you do have a reason to quit social media, but when you truly think about quitting social media, the reason why you go back to social media and you relapse is due to an emotional reason, because you feel good when you watch social media. You feel good when you scroll those shorts. You watch social media as this like automatic reflex, right? It's not like this thought out decision that you make. It's actually this trained condition in you to watch social media instead of do the hard work. And this is the case because you don't have a real why. So let me give you some actual examples of what a why is. Let's look at my life. I started this YouTube channel. I have drastically reduced my social media usage. I am consistent in the gym. I am working on other businesses simply because I want to make money. Now, why do I want to make money? Because that's once again a bad why. If you just want to make money, well, you could get a little bit of success, let's just say 10K a month, right? But you're not going to make a ton of money. You're not going to set yourself free. And that goes into the broader why. I want to be rich. I want to make a lot of money because I can be free. Okay, now why do you want to be free? Well, because I want to do what I want with my own time, and doing what I want with my own time is actually helping others and trying to make advancements for the human race. And also, I want to help my family, and I want to serve as a positive example for the future generations. And now I have a very big emotional reason. Let's just kind of condense that all because it was kind of went long. Pretty much, I want to change the world. That's why I want to quit social media. Okay, that's like a very big emotional idea. Like, well, you want to change the world? What? For good, hopefully. And because of this, whenever I want to go back to social media, whenever I want to indulge in the bad habits, I just remember my why. Right? It's this concept of two emotional ideas going against each other. As long as your why is greater than the dopamine of social media, you're actually going to be able to quit. You're going to be able to drastically reduce your usage. And that's what you're trying to get to, right? It's not that you need to go on a dopamine detox for 30 days or do some very specific challenge to alter your life, even though I'm doing one right now. The case is, you just need a why. You need a reason to get up in the morning. For example, let's take a look at your parents. They probably didn't work their dream job. Okay, in the rare exception you did, just imagine, hypothetically speaking. But what kept them going to work every day? Well, their kids. Okay, their future kids providing for them, their future kids changing the world potentially, simply because they provided. That's how you're going to change your life. You're going to change your life by developing your why. If you have a reason to do good, you will do good. Like, you even see this among religious communities. They'll say, I'm doing good because of God. I am winning this war because of God. They have this bigger why. They have this all-encompassing reason to keep moving forward. And that's how you're going to quit social media. It's kind of weird because if you're anything like me, you made quitting social media much more complicated than it really is. It simply is just defining your why. And yes, there are some habits on my channel that I suggest you to do, habit tracker, schedule, meditation, right? All very important stuff. But it is simply, if you have a why, if you have a reason to keep working, to keep fighting, you will succeed. But your why must be big enough, okay? And remember, it actually needs to be an emotional why. It can't be this logical thing like, oh, I want to make $10,000 a month online so I can be a billionaire, right? It's not that. It is actually a very emotional reason, right? We like to pride ourselves in our logic, but that same logical brain of yours convinced you to watch social media for 1,000 times, right? So we actually need to use an illogical reason to keep us moving forward. So simply, at the end of this video, you need to have your why. You need to have your guiding light. Because if you don't, you're just going to go back to social media. Of course you are. Right? Why would you do anything good in your life if you don't have a reason to? It's actually really simple. We're just creatures that want to have fun, or really we're seeking dopamine and pleasure. So we're going to do the easiest pleasurable thing. But if we can just hijack our brain, if we can trick our brain, I don't really like those terms, but I'm just using them. If we can actually just define our why, well, then you have control over your brain. So now you're asking, okay, how do I define my why? How do I get there? How do I get a purpose? How do I find something to do? Well, I think it takes some time just to sit there and think. What are you naturally good at? What do you think sounds fun? For the next couple of days, just try stuff out. Like, for example, in 2023, I tried out a bunch of different businesses until I kind of saw some initial success with one, and then I stuck with that until that ran out, right? But even then, let's just say you don't know how to find it. I'll give you some stuff. I'll give you some ideas. I think getting in the best shape of your life is one. Learning how to talk to people is another. And making a lot of money is another one, right? Develop your whys around those like very simple ideas. You need to go more autistic into those, okay? Don't just say, hey, I want to make a bunch of money, okay? Like, if you're being honest, you want to make a bunch of money, okay? Everyone wants to be rich. Nobody has chosen like if everyone had the choice to be rich or not, they choose rich, okay? Every single time. So you need to get more detailed about it. You need to write it down. And that's actually a big thing, because if you don't write it down, how will you ever remember it? You might remember it in your mind, but you need to put it pen to paper. That's where the real results are made. Okay, don't listen to people that say, no, I'll just keep it in my mind, or I'll write it on my computer. No, you have to write it on a piece of paper, right? That's where you're going to see the results. And with that, right, you have your why now. Now we can move to the actual dealing with relapses, putting in the new habits, facing the rejection, facing the fear, facing the failure, facing the ridicule. But you just need to set your why. And this is why you can't quit social media. It's not that you're not some smart guy. It's not that you didn't go to this school. It's not that you have bad genetics. It's none of those things. It's simply you don't have a why. Okay? It's none of those predetermined things, I guess. It's none of those. So think about your future self, and I'll see you on the other side. Bye-bye.